Buena Colts at TWN Community College facing off against Palo Verde. Buena Colts are 5-2 on the year, I believe, overall, including tournaments. 5-1 excluding tournaments. As we're ready to go here, it's going to be 2 halves, 16 minutes. And you see the Buena Colts starters out there: Thomas Welker, Teddy Frowen, Ricardo Brooks, Adam Nelson, and Jeremy Booker. That is your 5 for the Colts tonight. Ethan Graves, Christian White, Cameron Pippin, Kamayu Ortiz, and Christian White, your 5 for Palo Verde. First possession of the game. Adam Nelson, left corner 3, gets the bounce. Nice pass by Teddy Fruin. Full court pressure already. Teddy Fruin, 94 feet. Here's Ortiz up top. Hezzy in the lane, floater, Shafe gets the bounce, back-to-back nice bounces by both teams. Here's Brooks looking to push. Adam Nelson, heat check already. No good, back iron. Ball bounces to Jeremy Booker. Teddy Fruin, left corner 3, no good. Jeremy Booker, another, gets blocked. Another, turns it over. Here comes Rashad Ortiz the other way. The corner, Christian White. Ball left corner, inside now. Up and under, what a layup, Rashad Ortiz. Here's Ricardo Brooks. Cross-court pass to Teddy in the corner. To Thomas Welker. And a trap, Brooks to Nelson, to Booker. Right corner, hits Fruin, another. No good, 0 for 2 from that spot is Fruin. Kamayu Ortiz coming the other way. Hitting Pippin in the corner, ball gets deflected out of bounds. Ortiz set to inbound to the other Ortiz. Pippin up top. Ortiz to Ortiz in the corner. Takes the 3, misses. Brooks the rebound. Hitting Fruin in the corner. Working on Ortiz. Brooks up top. Welker. Trying to find holes against this Palo Verde zone. Adam Nelson 3. Nothing but air. And Palo Verde with a 4-3 lead now. 14:02 left in the first half. Kamayu Ortiz bringing the ball up. Backdoor cut by Pippin. Leaves Rashad Ortiz open for 3. Book it. 7-3 now. Palo Verde. Brooks caught in no man's land. Here's Nelson against this 2-3 zone. And Coach Baker, not liking what he's seeing, calls an early timeout, 2.5 minutes into this one. 30-second timeout. Let's take this chance to thank our presenting live sports sponsor, SSVEC, powering this live stream, able to make these games available to you. So 2.5 minutes into this one, and Buena Colts find themselves in a 7-3 hole. Palo Verde winning. See Coach Baker talking with the group here. Coach Baker, Coach Sador as well. Very deep team the Buena Colts have this year, able to play 12 people. Sure to trim down by playoff time though. Here's Brooks. High ball trap, Brooks able to escape it. Hitting Adam on the cross-court pass to Fruin on the attack. Back to Brooks, thought about the 3, doesn't take it. Nelson, left wing 3, open, no good. What a rebound by Graves. Pippin coming the other way. To Kamayu Ortiz. Hitting Christian White on the cutting Ortiz. Here's Graves. The 6'8" senior. My goodness. 9-3. Buena not looking so good. Here you go, Welker. To Nelson, nearly got stolen. Now they got numbers, Fruin. Ball gets deflected. Buena will retain possession with 13 on the shot clock. On the sideline, inbound. Here's Brooks up top. Hitting Teddy in the corner. Nelson up top. Shot clock winding down. Got to put one up. Here's Brooks. Is he aware of it? No, that's a shot clock violation. Bench is not active. And here we go. Buena Colts down 9-3, struggling against this 2-3 zone of Palo Verde. Camayo Ortiz. To White, happy feet. And that's a travel, going the other way. Here's Thomas inbounding at their own 28-foot mark. Adam Nelson up top to Fruin on the right wing. Moving the ball around against his zone. Thomas for three, doesn't get the bounce. So after a 3-0 start, we have a 9-0 run by Palo Verde. What a shot. That's Christian White, the lefty junior. Fruin hitting Welker. Same spot, same result. Colts now 1 for 6 from beyond the arc. Camayo Ortiz. As Caden Lee and MJ set to check in for the Colts. Rashad Ortiz short on the jumper. Ball advances to Welker. Welker up and under, misses the layup. Camayo Ortiz comes up with it, coming the other way. And dunks it down. That's Christian White on the rack attack. Here's Fruin. Ball gets tipped and stolen. That's White. Ortiz coming the other way. Picks up his dribble. Hits Pippen up top. Rashad Ortiz now trying to work on Fruin. 15 on the shot clock. Pippen. Alley-oop. No good there. Booker comes away with it. Fruin now up to Brooks. Hitting Teddy on the cut. Layup is up and good. Lead back down to single digits. 13-5. Palo Verde on top. Camayo Ortiz working on Fruin. Brooks fighting through the screen. White to Ortiz. Ortiz to step back in the mid-range. Nice box out and rebound by Welker. Brooks cross-court pass. Welker thought about it. Takes the one dribble in the mid-range. No good, in and out. And Graves comes away with it. And here's Pippen. In the lane, tries to spin, loses control. Nice defense by the Colts. And here is Caden Lee and Marlon Humes Jr. checking in for Ricardo Brooks and Jeremy Booker of the Colts. Both sophomores who just checked into the game for the Colts. Against this 1-2-2 of Palo Verde. Here they are, the Colts in a dice formation. Nice skip pass, Nelson wide open, no good. Colts still struggling as Christian White grabs a man's rebound. Camayo Ortiz now. Hitting Santo Valor, and now here is White on the miss. And MJ comes away with it. Caden Lee up top, hitting Fruin on the attack. Hitting MJ, thought about the three. In the mid-range, here's Nelson. Another three. Nelson still off. Caden Lee, the rebound, puts it up and in. 13-7. Tamayo Ortiz. To Rashad Ortiz. Here in the post is White. Working on Welker, puts it up. And Caden Lee comes away with it, getting some more height out there, but loses it. And Ortiz for three. Book it for Rashad Ortiz. And here comes MJ the other way. Hitting Nelson to Fruin. Thought about the three, doesn't take it. Nelson doesn't take this one, hitting MJ. His three, good. 16-10, 6-point game now. Palo Verde up top. Tamayo Ortiz in and out in the mid-range. Hitting Valor up top. Back to Tamayo Ortiz. To Valor. Rashad White, no good. And he'll head to the free throw line for two. Doesn't get the bounce on the first one. Dawson Simon and Joseph Thomas now checking in for Teddy Fruin and Adam Nelson of the Colts. 1 for 2 this time for White. Marlon Humes to JoJo. The microwave. Thomas Welker to Simon. Here's JoJo. Doesn't take the three inside. Caden Lee misses the chippy. Inside Bimana the rebound. Tamayo Ortiz. The ball gets tipped and picked up by White. Still loose. And here's White up top. Against the outstretched hands of Welker, no good. Got a piece of it. Here's Welker on the break. Inside, ball gets stripped, stolen. We're gonna have a jump ball. Possession arrow points to the Colts. They will retain possession. No, Palo Verde will get the possession. Thomas Welker had JoJo open in the left corner, decided not to hit him. Now here's Tamayo Ortiz. In the corner. To inside Bimana. Back to Ortiz. Working on Welker. Trapped on the baseline. And there's Simon on the steal. And room service the other way. Misses the chippy layup. The junior. And here's Tamayo Ortiz dumping it off to Valor. 19-10. Palo Verde up top. Caden Lee inside. That would have put it up and in. 6.5 left to go in this first half. Trailer. That's Ortiz. Another three. Lead back up to double digits, 22-12. Here's Dawson Simon. Cross-court pass, JoJo way downtown. No good. Caden Lee tries to tip it up, and ball comes away. White the rebound. Here comes Tamayo Ortiz. In the corner, Ortiz. And last touch by Palo Verde, the Buena Colts coming the other way. And now here is Bill McCullough from 520 Sports Talk, ready to join me with 5:51 left in the first half.
All right, sounds good. Glad to be here. Sorry we're a little late. Got some Arizona Bowl stuff to cover. But looks like we've got a good matchup.
Yeah, Buena Colts are down 10 right now. As Pippin comes the other way.
So Titans with the ball. Looks like they're looking for some cutters. You're doing color or I'm doing color?
I could do play-by-play this game
Okay,
since you're doing it next.
That's fine.
Here's Pippen. Loses the ball. Simon comes away with it. Here's Thomas on the break. Bounce pass. Here's Lee. Nice, strong layup there. 8-point game.
And that's how you do it. You can create turnovers and you get easy baskets on transition.
Here's Pippen against the extended pressure by the Colts. Up top, Ortiz. Handoff to Unsa Bimana.
Palo Verde just doing that weave.
A little weave action, and Ortiz, another three. That's his third of the game.
He's on fire.
Joseph Thomas against this zone of Palo Verde. Thomas way downtown, no good. And Valor comes away with it. On the break, Thomas stops it with the foul.
That was probably a good foul, you know, because he was one-on-one. He probably would have either scored or an and one. So
yeah, one-on-one offense has the advantage.
Probably a smart foul.
25-14 now with 4.5 left in the first half.
And this is a 3A versus 5A matchup.
Inside, here's Graves trying to work on Caden Lee. Has the height advantage, using his muscle, no good. And there's Corey Vance on the rebound.
That was a nice box out.
Steven Wambach on the break to Caden Lee. Here's Simon, right corner three. Front rim and off. Ortiz the rebound. Cameron Pippen bringing it up for Palo Verde. MJ on the gamble, no good. Low post, once again, Graves. In rush hour traffic, gets it out. Up top, three-pointer, no good. And Dawson Simon comes away with it. Steven Wambach, the junior, checking in. Inside, Caden Lee against the taller Graves, puts it up, puts it off. Pippen the rebound.
Nice strong move, just didn't finish.
Pippen putting the moves on Simon. Unsa Bimana up top. Hitting Ortiz. Ortiz on the move. 2-dribble pull-up. Bounces all around the rim and goes in.
Rattle that one home.
Steven Wambach, the floater in the lane, right back at you. 27-16.
And that's Buena basketball. Just push it and make them adjust. Good job by the Ortiz on that.
Pippen walking it up the floor. .20 on the shot clock as he's looking for an opening. You have a little cross action, hitting Graves up top. Zoom action, and we're going to have a foul. This is going to go on Dawson Simon.
So it looks like wholesale changes in for the Colts, trying to get some fresh legs in.
Gabe Padilla checking into the game for the first time as Ortiz set for the baseline inbound. Several cutters, hits Pippen. Way up top, gets deflected by Wambach. As they're in sort of a 14 formation.
He's got to move the ball forward. He's going to get a 5-second call.
Ortiz, left corner three. No good. Here's Padilla hitting Lee on the break. And Wambach back to Lee. See Corey Vance in the high post, looking for an opening in this zone. Avechuco cross-court pass to Lee. Shot clock winding down, 14 to Wambach. No good on the three. Colts struggling from beyond the arc so far today. And here is Palo Verde on the break. Thought about the three. Hitting Ortiz up top against Padilla on the attack, using his body. Using his body again, loses it. Hitting the corner, that's a travel. Ortiz trying to say the ball got tipped.
That was nice defense not to let him go baseline on that.
27-16, 1 minute and change left in the first half. Welker high post, puts it up, No good. Caden Lee, outstretched hands, gets it. Back to Welker. Thought about the mid-range. Takes a dribble. In the lane. Floater. Up and good for Thomas Welker. Back to single digits.
Good job on the decision. A lot high percentage shot as opposed to a 3.
Here's Pippen against the extended pressure by Wambach. Ball right wing is Christian White. Eli, nice hands. Able to come up with a steal. We have the 2 tallest players on the break. Thomas Welker lays it up and in. Nice pass by Caden Lee on the 2-on-1.
Once again, transition basket off a turnover.
27-20. Colts chipping away at the lead. Here's Pippen. Doesn't go for the 2-for-1 as he's working on Wambach. Little attack to get rid of the 5-second call. Ref counting once again on the attack. Left corner 3, nothing but air. Thomas Welker comes away with it.
They got numbers again.
Here's Padilla. Up and under, hitting Avechuco left wing 3, nothing but air. Again, baseball pass. Here's Pippen on the break. No good. Wambach comes away with it. Throw it up. No good. And heading into halftime, the Colts are down 27-20.
That was a nice comeback, though. Got a few baskets, I think 2 or 3 baskets off the turnover that turned into fast break points. Little playground ball there at the last few seconds of the half, but looks like a pretty good game coming up in the second half.
11-minute halftime break here as the Colts find themselves in a little bit of a hole, but ended the half on an exclamation mark. So we'll see where this second half takes us.
This is a great tournament every year. Brian Peabody, the head coach of the Pima Aztecs, just nationally renowned coach. Both the men and the women last year went to the Final Four. The women actually played in the Final 2 in the championship game and lost by a couple of possessions. But Peabody's been there before. He had a Final Four team about 4 years ago and lost in the championship game to a Chicago junior college, once again, just by a couple of possessions. So good basketball tradition here at Pima College, as you can tell on the wall of the accolades that they have. And Brian Peabody, a very, very good basketball coach for the Pima men.
Yeah, and you got a good group of assistant coaches. Coach Flanagan, of course, being one of them as well, a defensive-minded coach. And you see it with how Pima plays basketball, man.
They're up and down.
JUCO, oh yeah.
They scored 160 points in a game this year, and kept the other team to 45.
Oh wow!
They won by 120 points. It was crazy. They like to go up and down. They don't have a slow gear. They're gonna push it, and they're gonna make the other team adjust to what they have. And more times than not, Pima's gonna come out with the advantage, as their record, I believe they're still undefeated this year, 10-0. So Marshawn Flanagan, I met him when he was the head coach of the Palo Verde Titans back in pre-COVID, about 2018, 2019. Very good coach, like you said, defensive-minded, and a good fundamentals coach. He really preaches that fundamentals, and especially at the high school level, that's where you want to really start developing your game for the college level.
So with 8.5 left to go in halftime, we'll send it back to Dan in the studio.
We got the buzzer beater, the new segment.
All right.
So
it's fitting that we go into buzzer beaters, because I believe our first buzzer beater, Julian Duran, was the first one to kick it off. And we were like, hey, break down everything that's going on in the NBA, kind of tell us. And here we are, full circle.
Full circle.
He's back in town. He's back on the show. Buzzer beater is back. And hey, we can get into it. Why don't we start it with him and go right back to NBA?
Let's do it.
The NBA, we're almost in, like, I wouldn't say full swing. Yeah, I'd say full swing in the NBA. It's before the All-Star break, for sure. So let us know, like, what would you say, like, the top 3 stories or the biggest things that we should know about the NBA?
First I want to start off
Wait. Oh, remember, we got the buzzer beater.
Oh, shoot. It's been a while.
Yeah.
All right, let's go. All right, so first I want to start off with Nikola Jokic. He's having an incredible season. He's leading the league in efficiency, leading the league in game score, first in rebounds, first in assists. He is the front runner for MVPs, looking like his MVP self. You take him last year, and he's even better somehow this year. Second thing I want to talk about is the Oklahoma City Thunder, tying the Golden State Warriors for the best record through 25 games, 24-1. In my opinion, they're going to break that 73-9 record by the Warriors, and they statistically they have the best defense of all time right now. 7 of the top 10 defensive players in the NBA are playing for the Oklahoma City Thunder currently. And for me, the biggest story right now, last thing I'll talk about is Giannis. Where is he gonna go? Giannis, obviously. Things are a little shaky right now with the Bucks. The Warriors are a front runner to get him. The Thunder can get him. The Cavs, there's a lot of teams that can get him, so let's see where he goes.
Hey, no, I can't argue. My only thing would be, I think the Oklahoma City Thunder story is bigger than the Giannis story.
Really?
Their team, so Sam Presti might go down as the greatest GM, NBA GM of all time.
Julian even mentioned it, that even if Giannis ends up going somewhere, the Thunder is a possible destination.
They have
the capital.
Yeah.
They have the players and the picks and
someone that already has a small contract. All right.
So good job.
Is it you or me?
I guess I can go next.
All right.
I'm going to be talking about college football, and I'm ready when you are.
All right, let's hit it.
All right, college football, and I'm going to go straight to the good stuff. Let's talk about the college football playoff. Y'all know this year now they're allowing 12 teams in. Obviously, still somebody's going to be upset because now there's a team on the outside looking in, and this year it's Notre Dame.
Yeah.
They are upset. They feel like they should have a chance to play in this, and most people would agree they're at least one of the top 12 teams in the league, so they do kind of have a worthy complaint. But it is what it is. Let's take a look at it. We got Indiana rounding out number 1 end of the season, number 1 team. They've kind of battle-proved it, too, because they played Ohio State. Ohio State just failed to number 2, so not that much of a drop-off. Georgia's number 3. Texas Tech, kind of a surprise, they're the number 4. Those are the 4 teams with first-round byes. So in that first round, we're going to have James Madison, who got in off the technicality of winning their conference. They're going to be playing Oregon. Alabama and OU, the rematch, you know Oklahoma's going to win that. Tulane versus Ole Miss. Miami versus Texas will round out the first round of the college playoff. I got it in.
I'm sweating just listening to you. Good Lord.
A lot of people upset about BYU.
Yeah, I was going to say BYU was the other team, and they have a great story.
Yeah, their resumes.
If you've got Alabama, who's 9-3, man. 9-3. I know. Well, they won their. But that's a thing that, like, do you let conference champions in every time, or do you take the best team available?
Yeah.
I think you take the best team available, and you don't take conference championships if if that means we're allowing James Madison in, and we're allowing Tulane in. First of all, Alabama doesn't have a case at all because Alabama didn't win the SEC.
Right.
They were in the championship game, but they lost, and they've lost 3 of their last 4 games or something.
Oh, dude.
I got Ohio State.
Ohio State, probably.
It's got to be, Ohio State. Is there anybody in the West that's any good this year?
Honestly, Georgia. They're in the West, but I think Georgia has a really good shot, too.
Oh, Georgia.
Nice.
Yeah. Jeez. They got the best team.
Nobody's believing in Indiana.
No.
I mean, they beat Ohio, but that was a dogfight. So.
The NFL, yes. All right. So I'm talking NFL. What is a bigger story than the 44-year-old man coming back after 5 years off, playing for one of the top teams in the NFL? Yes, that is Phillip Rivers. So he's knocking the rust off on the field. We'll see if he can maintain a body that can. The problem was he was taking so much damage before he left. He had to retire at the age of 40. Okay, next up, Shedeur Sanders. Man, another guy they keep talking about. Wow, this guy isn't very good. Well, you know what? He's pretty dang good. He's he's won one game. He almost won his next game. We're talking like a very high quality player. He's clearly better than people expected. So let's give him a little bit of a love there.
Yep.
I'd like to talk about the Chiefs versus Chargers and Indy versus Seahawks. Seahawks are going to win. Chiefs are going to lose.
I like that breakdown. Yeah, that was good.
Yeah. I'm sad about the Chiefs, but I'm finally calling it against them. I don't think they're going to make the playoffs.
Hey, maybe that'll be what turns it around is you picking against them.
I know, and it feels like
on your Phillip Rivers point, I agree. I think it's, to me, I've heard Cam Newton come out and say that it was like a slap in the face to him that Phillip Rivers would get a call before he. I don't know if I would go that far, but I think it is a slap in the face to all of the 20-something-year-old backup quarterbacks or quarterbacks that were barely, missed getting drafted, that
for the
still
last
get picked up
5
in free
years.
agency.
Let's talk the best college players in the last 5 years. You can't do better,
You know what I'm saying? I just find it hard to believe that we have to call someone who's been on the couch for a few years when there's literally hundreds of quarterbacks that have been playing at D1, high level, that are on practice squads on
Canadian
teams.
football, indoor football, Olympic, flag football.
Right, seriously.
All these guys that have more field experience in the last 5 years.
And at first I thought it was a locker room hire, like, a mentor type.
Sure.
Hey, bring this guy in so he can mentor some of the young players. He's gonna play. Like that's crazy to me.
Straight off he's been coaching for the last 5 years, so.
Welcome back as we near some second half action here between the Colts and Palo Verde. Colts still down 27-20. 40 seconds left in this halftime timer. And see them shooting around here. Hopefully they can hit some more shots from beyond the arc. They only had 1 or 2 3-pointers in the first half and shot about 12 or 13, so a very low percentage from beyond the arc. And if they want to get back in this game, that's what they're gonna need to hit.
So, Julian, for those of us who joined late, how did Palo Verde get out to that big lead at the beginning of the game?
Their defense, they're running a 2-3 zone, switching it up between a 2-3 and a 1-2-2. And the Colts have just been struggling to work against. They got a shot clock violation earlier today, just weren't aware of the time, and they're just struggling to put the ball in the basket. They're not getting good looks, and the good looks that they are getting, they're not really hitting them. But it seems like Palo Verde played well, but they're only up 7 points. So if you're a Colts fan or if you're the Buena Colts, not a terrible position because you didn't have a good half and you're only down 7 points.
Right, and a lot of people don't understand, and some coaches don't even realize that it's a lot easier to fast break coming out of a zone than it is a man-to-man because your guards are going to be on top regardless on a 2-3 or even a 1-3-1. So getting ready to start the second half.
Here we go, Brooks against this 1-2-2.
Middle's wide open.
Inside Welker to Fruin, doesn't take the open 3, and ball gets tipped. This is exactly what we were talking about during halftime. Struggle against this zone. Here's
And
Nelson.
A lot of high school teams don't play against the zone, so this may be new territory for them.
Here's Welker. 5 on the shot clock. In trouble. The grenade to Adam Nelson. No good. Offensive rebound, Welker. Inside to Booker. Mid-range jumper. Gets the roll. 5-point game. 27-22.
Nice patience with the Colts on that. And a lot of times on those missed screens, you get a long rebound.
Great job by Welker there to read that as well. Here's Pippen working on Nelson at the right wing. In and out dribble. Ortiz on the attack. To the other Ortiz. Hezzy pull from deep. No good. Ricardo Brooks able to come away with it. They got numbers if they take advantage.
3-on-2.
Jump off pass to Welker. Hitting Nelson. In and out. And Booker, that's what he's going to do. We have a jump ball. Palo Verde will get possession.
So Buena crashing the boards good on the offensive end. and giving themselves second and third opportunities.
Extending the pressure 94 feet now. Here's Booker on Ortiz. Welker got a hand on it, but Graves able to get it. 20 on the shot clock. Here's Ortiz, floater. Thomas got a piece of
Partially
it.
blocked.
And slow it down. Here's Brooks. Ball gets tipped out of bounds. White last to touch it.
So both teams coming out of the locker room wanting to play fast.
Colts always want to play fast. Here's Brooks, cross-court pass to Nelson. Doesn't take the open three. And Welker, happy feet in the lane, and that's a travel.
Switched his pivot foot.
Once again, 94-foot pressure by the Colts. Booker, a very athletic and versatile defender on Christian White. And as you see right there, stumbles on his feet due to the pressure. Here's Jeremy Booker all the way. A little DIY by Jeremy Booker.
Once again, transition basketball leads to points.
Ortiz now working on Fruin. In the lane, step back in the mid-range, bounces off, and the Colts a chance to tie or be down by one depending on shot selection for the tie. No good. Jeremy Booker once again another offensive rebound.
Mismatch down low.
And there it is. Trying to get 3 points the old-fashioned way is Thomas Welker.
Welker realized he had a much shorter man on him, and it took him to the hole. And he'll be rewarded with the free throw as well.
All thanks to Jeremy Booker, relentless on the offensive glass. Welker. Good, converts to and one. We are knotted at 27.
Brand new ball game here.
7-0 to start the half for the Colts. Completely different team now. As they get a steal, no. Welker got a hand on it, but Chris White able to come away with it. Now Jeremy gets the steal. His second of the half. Here's Brooks on the break to Welker. Dunking it down. Thomas Welker.
Nice pickpocket steal led to more points down there. And with the big flush at the other end.
And a 9-0 run for the Colts. Here's Pippen working on Nelson in the lane, putting in jail, loses it, another turnover. The Colts defense is completely different, and Palo Verde needs a timeout to try and stop the momentum.
Palo Verde has not gotten into any of their offensive sets this half for the first almost
3.5 minutes.
What are they playing, 15 minutes?
16.
16. Oh, 16-minute half. Okay. All right. Yeah, Palo Verde is yet to get into their offensive flow. And they're having to be on their heels from that Buena tough defense that's making steals, getting boards, and turning it into transition basketball. So good job by the Colts to come out with that 9-0 run to start the second half.
29-27. Let's see what Coach Baker, if he takes advantage of this timeout by Palo Verde and sees what he draws up for the ATO. Here we go again. The Palo Verde switching to a 1-2-1-1 full court press. You see the Colts here with a 2-guard front. You need people flashing middle if you want to break this press.
That's the way to do it, diagonal passing.
Teddy Fruin, hop step in the lane, takes the contact, puts it up, and no! One ref called a foul, the other called a travel, and I guess travel.
Travel is the right call on that one because he tied him up while he was in the air, and then he came down on his foot with no dribble.
So that's the Colts' first or second turnover of the half. Doing a nice job protecting the basketball. Here's Christian White to Pippen.
That could have been a walk as well.
Yep. Loses it. Ricardo Brooks comes away with it. And last touch by refs don't know who. It looked like it was Palo Verde from here.
Yeah, neither of them could decide on it, so you're going to jump it up, and that gives Buena the possession arrow.
I believe that is the right call. The only negative is that the next jump ball goes to Palo Verde now. Brooks here. On the attack.
All alone.
Wide open. Parted the seas. Ricardo Brooks and one.
Did you see what happened? They sent a cutter through the lane, and the forward on the baseline took the cutter, and it was like a 5-lane highway for Brooks. Just goes in for an easy right-handed layup.
Brooks converts the and one, 12-0 to start the half. Colts sticking to this man defense. Up top is White. And we're gonna have a blocking foul on Ricardo Brooks. Brooks doesn't like the call.
That was kind of a ticky-tack call, but it could have been a makeup call as well. So.
Up top, here's White. Brooks staying in front. Ortiz now. In the mid-range, skip pass, tipped by Nelson, picked up by Pippen. Up and under, scoop, layup, my goodness, Rashad Ortiz.
And at the 11-19 mark, that's their first points in the second half.
Here's Jeremy to Welker. Hop step in the lane, puts it up, gets blocked by Graves, the 6'8 senior for Palo Verde. Ortiz now. Nice transition defense by the Colts, able to stop the break. Ortiz hezzy in the lane, doesn't know where to go with it, finally gets it to White. Back to Kamayu Ortiz. 3-point game, 32-29, 15 on the shot clock. Pass inside, broken up by Welker.
It should have gone, just pulled up for that 6-foot jumper.
Brooks doesn't take the three. Euro in the lane to Nelson, to Welker. By his lonely up top, no good. Jeremy Booker crashing the boards once again. And ball tipped and grabbed by Brooks. We're gonna have a timeout by the Colts. Once again, Jeremy Booker, relentless on the offensive glass, creating another possession for the Colts.
You know, and it's obvious that was probably one of the big adjustments at halftime for Dennis, because they are crashing the boards on both ends, offensively and defensively. They're not worrying too much about that chicken guard that Palo Verde had in the first, where he would just release and they throw the baseball pass down to him. You haven't seen the Titans do that, but the Titans are all discombobulated right now. They don't have an offensive flow in their sets. There's a lot of standing around, and then on defense, they're waiting for the ball to come to them off the glass instead of going and getting the rebounds, and that's allowing Buena to get second and third shot opportunities, and that continues to happen. That's not a good sign for the Titans.
Yeah, and a lot of one and dones on the other end for Palo Verde. But it's still a 3-point game. It's still anyone's game. And I believe Caden Lee and Dawson Simon are checking in for the Colts, as well as Timote Nsabimana for Palo Verde. Fruin and Nelson out for the Colts.
Palo Verde and Catalina have a lot of foreign students in their student body. They are very good in basketball, very good in soccer, very good in cross country.
Jeremy Booker on the sideline inbound, reset of the shot clock, 33. Thomas Welker had some space. Trying to look for a gap. Simon as well had some space. Caden
Nice
Lee.
trap by the Titans.
Caden Lee in a little trouble there in the short corner.
So I'm not sure what they were doing on that. They were just reversing the ball along the perimeter, but there was no cutters. And then when they got Lee down in the corner, Palo Verde smartly trapped him.
Dawson Simon doesn't take the open three. Welker to Brooks. They're running a 3-out high-low. Welker for three. Good. Thomas Welker's first three of the game.
Let's see if that gets him ignited and warms up. He's a beast behind the arc, and especially with that size, taking his big man out.
Brooks Read it like an open book. To Welker inside. Has the height advantage. Puts it up and in. 5 points in about 15 seconds by Welker. The other way. And a dunk. That's Christian White. Very up and down, high-paced, fast action here.
You got to get back on defense. You can't celebrate those baskets.
Caden Lee, the fadeaway jumper. Front iron off. Coming the other way, Palo Verde. Here's Ortiz. Gets fouled. Not able to put it up and in. Over the outstretched hands of Thomas Welker, but he'll go to the line.
That was a pretty break, and Palo Verde seems to be having their mojo come back now as their coach settled them down during that last timeout.
Currently on a 17-4 extended run. 9:11 left to go in the second half. First free throw up and good by Rashad Ortiz as Santo Valor checks in for Palo Verde, and Marlon Humes Jr., son of Coach Marlon of Hoopology, checks in for Brooks of the Buena Colts.
So other than Welker, Buena look like they're going small now. Maybe they're going to try this up and down.
Small, but you got 2 6'7" guys out there. That's the...
Well, on each team.
Yeah.
So you got 4 guards and a forward.
Here's Welker.
Nice
Simon.
reversal.
Welker now has the last 5. Goes. No good on the layup, but he'll go to the line. So Thomas Welker, a lot more aggressive in this second half.
That was nice footwork by Welker as well, because they are pinching him off there on the drive in, and he just did the big step and then went straight up and strong and awarded free throws.
Welker back ironing off on the first.
Still anybody's game.
Welker splits the pair. 38-32, 18-5 extended run still in this entire second half. And we have a reach and foul on Jeremy Booker there. Colts are going to switch to a full court press now on the next possession.
Are they going to cover the inbound?
They're going to apply full court pressure on makes, I believe, now.
Oh, full court's inbound. You've got a guy on there. Otherwise, it's three-quarter court trap.
And there it is. Simon on the break. Slow step, misses the layup. Short is gone on the floor, gets the offensive rebound.
I think he got hit in the mouth. Here comes the big guy back in for the Titans.
Yeah, Ethan Graves is a 6'8" senior.
I'm sure he'll be playing at the next level.
Here we go, double down screen for Welker. Doesn't take it. MJ up top. Simon. Feel like Simon's being a little passive on his shots, but Welker the catch and shoot. Good.
There we go, just like we said, time to warm up for
And
Welker.
here we go now. The Colts with three-quarter court pressure.
3-possession game.
Inside, here's Graves. Tom is there. Doesn't matter. Ethan Graves putting it up and in.
Nice power move. Just controlled his body and went up strong. Welker did not want to commit the foul, so kind of laid off a little bit.
And they're calling the last shot by Welker a 2, not a 3. So 40-34.
A lot of lines on the court between high school and college here.
And the high school 3 here isn't even an actual high school 3. It's a little further.
That's true. That's the women's 3. About a foot longer, maybe about 20 feet.
Caden Lee. Nice bump.
That's a nice, strong move by Lee.
42-34.
Trap
in the backcourt.
You don't want to pick up the ball.
Christian White hits Rashad Ortiz. He's in trouble. Gets it out to Kamayu Ortiz. Able to escape the double. Hezzy in the lane. Nice dump off pass. Got two men in the air.
Oh, how did he miss that one?
Christian White takes the contact. No good on the layup. He'll go to the line to try and chip in a little more into this lead. Good on the first.
Not a lot of arc on that free throw.
Corey Vance and Ricardo Brooks now in the game, along with Joseph Thomas. So Caden Lee, Ricardo Brooks, Corey Vance, Stephen Wambach, and Joseph Thomas, your five for the Colts. White goes 2 for 2. 42 to 36.
Back down to a 2-possession game now as Palo Verde shows pressure.
JoJo wide open. No good.
Long
Corey
rebound
Vance.
again.
Inside, Caden Lee had the open layup, doesn't take it. Wambach left corner three. No good. Ricardo another. Hits JoJo. Spin move, fade away. No good. Got another rebound, but cannot save it to his
Titans
team.
on the run, all alone.
And there is Rashad Ortiz on the two-hand jam.
Once again, Buena fell asleep on defense.
And Ortiz the steal. No foul called, last touch by Ortiz. Here's Brooks now to JoJo. Caden Lee flashing middle.
Good
Now
job
here's-
of the high post coming up top on that press.
Caden Lee doesn't take it. Here's Brooks. Joseph. High step, no look to Rick in the corner. No good. Couldn't finish the clip there, and a foul. This is gonna go on Caden Lee. Man, what a pass by Joseph Thomas.
Palo Verde going to the hole.
Valor off on the layup. Last touch by the Colts.
Palo Verde has a sense of renewed freshness in their legs because they're running now where they didn't do that in the first half of the second half.
Ortiz, that's the hot hand right now.
That's a
It is
huge
back to a
basket.
1-point game, 42-41.
Huge basket by the Titans coming back, trail by 1.
Ricardo Brooks able to break the full court pressure. Here's JoJo hitting Wambach. Couple pass fakes. Inside Corey Vance. Hitting Steven. Left alone. No good. And here we go. Palo Verde with a chance to take the lead.
Nice rebound. Almost carried the ball.
Up top, Ortiz. Skip pass to Valor. Touch pass to Ortiz. Cross court pass now to White. Takes the contact, puts it up and in. Palo Verde from the trenches came back, and now they're up 43-42 with 4:43 left to go in the second half.
That's what I like about this format where you're playing the halves instead of quarters because it's hard to carry momentum over from quarter to quarter. And with the half, you can do that. 43-42 here as Palo Verde, the Titans erased that big run to start the second half by the Buena Colts. And once again, this last 44-43 should be very exciting.
So Palo Verde forces the Colts to call a full timeout here, as we're pretty much in clutch time now by NBA rules. As I
Trying to
believe
figure out their scoreboard. Either somebody's got 4 fouls or somebody had 5 fouls.
Fouls are under the
Well, there's
score.
team fouls. Yeah, those are team fouls. Great game here at the Aztec Classic. The annual event put on by the athletic department at Pima Community College. So this should be pretty good, Julian.
Here we go. Palo Verde now in a 1-3-1. JoJo loses it. Corner, here's Fruin. Up top to Thomas. Here's Brooks. Thought about it. JoJo also thought about it. Teddy also thought about it. Ricardo Brooks. JoJo way downtown. Bank is open. And what's today? Friday?
Right back, down court. Once again, Palo Verde forcing the action and Buena being a little lazy on defense.
Between Christian White and Rashad Ortiz, the double-headed snake in the backcourt for Palo Verde, they are attacking relentlessly. Christian White, no good on the first.
Palo Verde has always had good athletes that can just jump out of the gym, as you've seen them with a couple of dunks and even two-handed dunks.
Christian White, good on the second. We are back to a 1-point game, 45-44. Buena Colts on top.
Just under 4 minutes.
And a turnover by the Colts.
Unforced error. Those are what give coaches gray hair. A lot more movement by Palo Verde now.
Elevator screen for Ortiz, no good. White goes into the body of Welker. Offensive rebound, no good. Adam Nelson out of the pack. Very fast-paced. Here's Fruin. Inside. Loses it. Booker picks it up. Saves it. Brooks can't get to it. And Palo Verde will come the other way.
Nice effort by Brooks there.
Ortiz. 3 and some change left in this one. With a chance for extra minutes. Cross-court pass, Pippen in the corner. Delayed step. Here, a mid-range is off. That was Ethan Graves. Fruin on the break. Tried to thread the needle, no good.
They tried to push it when they didn't have numbers, and Welker bails them out.
Nice shot by Thomas Welker.
Still a one-possession game.
Up top is Pippen, 2.5 left to go. They're down 3. Ortiz for the tie. No good, rebound Welker. No numbers here as Fruin sees that, slows it down. Here's Brooks. To Fruin. Don't gotta rush anything here. You still got 20 seconds near backcourt. And there it is, stepped on the timeline. And another turnover by the Colts.
And the second unforced error. So Colts a little bit out of control right now. And Dennis is gonna let them play.
2:03 left to go. Colts up by 3. Here's Rashad Ortiz receiving it in the backcourt. We have an offensive foul. That might be an illegal screen down low.
Most likely. That's a big change of possession with under 2 minutes left. Colts could go up by 2 possessions on this time.
MJ checking in for Booker now for some more offense. Adam Nelson. Here's Simon in the corner. Up top, MJ, cross court to Brooks.
Using that clock.
Moving it around, shot clock winding down, ball gets tipped. Brooks. Someone's gonna have to put it up. Brooks way downtown. No good. Rebound Graves. 1 minute left, they are down 3. If you gotta play to get some points on the board, now's the time to call it.
Trying to go out the window again.
Ortiz. To the other Ortiz. Mid-range. No good. Rebound Nelson.
Should have followed his shot.
Still no need to foul. And timeout by the Colts. 30-second timeout. 47-44. And you can expect some high ball pressure. Looking to cause some turnovers here by Palo Verde. Not that they need to. You could just get a stop regularly. You're going to still have enough time to get a shot up.
Now, Coach Baker called that timeout before they crossed the timeline, so they're going to have to take it out on the side on the Palo Verde end.
With 5 seconds to pass the timeline as well.
If I was Palo Verde, I'd put their big guy on the ball. Good game here at Aztec Gymnasium, a part of the Team Aztec Classic annual holiday tournament here. And always, Pima does a great job hosting this, and a big shout out to Coach Brian Peabody. So Palo Verde, no pressure.
Here we go, Brooks. We're gonna get this 1-2-2 cross court to Nelson. 40 seconds left. Got about a 21-second difference between shot clock and game clock. Ball gets tipped. Marlon in trouble. Hits Brooks to Nelson. Doesn't take it. 5 on the shot clock. Simon, is this the dagger? No. Welker, offensive rebound, puts it up. Didn't have to shoot it. Shot clock resets. Palo Verde is going to have a chance. Welker did not have to take that shot. Ortiz. Taking it, blocked by Welker. Brooks out of the pack. Here's Simon. An offensive foul on Brooks.
I thought Palo Verde could have had a much better shot selection coming down the court. He went up against 2 trees, and there was nowhere for him to go. Good defensive pressure by Buena, and it was unfortunate that they got the offensive foul. So the Titans got 6.4 seconds to tie this game up.
Here we go, down 3. Ball in, Ortiz for the tie. No good, Booker. And out of bounds, 2.6 seconds left. This is their last chance. Coach calls a timeout to drop a 3-point play here.
So what he's gonna do, Julian, is he's gonna put all his defensive guys on the perimeter. I mean, they get an inside layup, it doesn't matter. So they're gonna guard that arc the whole time, because that's the only chance that Palo Verde has. Now, with 2.7 seconds left, you still get a chance to dribble it twice before you gotta let it go. It's not a catch and shoot situation.
And you can expect Coach Baker to put a lineup out there that can switch everything. You don't really want to try to fight over screens. Now, you don't want to give up any open looks. If you got a smaller guy and a bigger guy who can contest that shot, you'll live with that. Just no fouls. You don't want to pick up any.
Even if they foul, it's only 2 shots. So that's another option.
If they foul on the shot, though.
Right.
You don't want to foul a 3-point shooter now.
Let's see what Palo Verde does with their big guy. This is going to be interesting because he could either set the screen or he could be a vital part of this out-of-bounds play. He might even take the ball out. Let's see what happens.
And I'm not sure if he can extend the floor, if he can take the shot. So let's see. You really want to watch out for Christian White and Rashad Ortiz here.
So
Here we go.
under their own basket once again, and
Potentially the last play of the game. We have a screen to the corner. Up top, here's White for the tie. In and out. The Colts survive a thriller at Pima Community College. They come out on top, 47-44. A nail biter.
well, I'll tell you, it doesn't get any closer than that. That thing was halfway down. And a great job by both teams, the Titans and the Colts, as they do their post-game handshake. And neither team left anything out on the end of the floor. They tried their hardest. Good effort by both. And just bear in mind, that's a 5A versus a 3A matchup. So Palo Verde represented very well against the Colts.
Talk about coming down to the final possession. Thank you all for tuning in to this special coverage here on Cool FM Live. I'm Julian Duran for Bill McCulloch as well.
Now, if you want to watch the next game for even our Cochise County fans, anybody in the 520 Sports, 520 area code, we're going to switch to my page, 520 Sports Talk, for the Tucson High Saguaro matchup, which is kind of a rivalry. Tucson High has always been very, very good, and Saguaro always a great tradition at that school for basketball, both boys and girls basketball. Eric Langford, the coach of the Badgers, a personal friend, big supporter of my page, and it's going to be a good game. So if you want to watch it, give us a couple minutes and we'll switch over to the 520 Sports Talk channel on Facebook.
Saguaro, also one of the top 4A teams in the state.
This is 6A and 4A.
So thank you all for tuning in. I'm Julian Duran. Thank you to Bill McCulloch for joining me. See you next time.